What's up, guys? Dr. Seth back to help you solve your powerlifting problems. So if we are dealing with coracobrachialis pain on the squat, first thing to ask is, what the fuck is a coracobrachialis? Well, it's this little muscle that's going to run from the coracoid process on your shoulder blade and attach to your upper arm bone, the humerus. Now, what does this little guy do? Well, if you look at an anatomy textbook, it's going to tell us that it is a shoulder flexor, so it's going to bring the arm up, and it's a shoulder adductor, so it's going to pull the arm in. Now, that really doesn't explain what we're going to do with it or why it might hurt on a squat. So actually, beyond just looking at its line of pull, if we think about what it's actually doing in conjunction with everything else around the shoulder, what's its actual job, what is its function rather than its action, the coracobrachialis, if you look at its line of pull along with everything else nearby, all of its neighbors, it is going to contribute to sucking the humeral head deeper into the shoulder socket to help create stability at that socket so we don't just have our arm fall out during a squat. So if it is getting painful in a squat, if it is being exceeded in capacity, it's going to be a matter of getting it better at doing its job and getting everything else better at helping it suck that shoulder back into the socket. Now, why might the other things be lagging on their job? Why might it be getting asked to do too much work? Well, if we have really shitty range at the shoulder socket, the rotator cuff muscles, they are going to be put at a length where they don't have much leverage to actually do anything or don't have much leverage to actually contract. So the other muscles that are going to assist in creating that suck in might be asked to work harder than they want to. On the flip side, if coracobrachialis just kind of sucks, it might just be getting asked to do too much. So what can we do about it on both sides of that equation? Well, one, we can do things to make sure that our rotator cuff works well and that we have access to external rotation, internal rotation, and that we are just good at that baseline rotator cuff. Can the thing move? Does our shoulder have freedom? Because if it can't, the stuff we're going to try to do won't do much for us. So if we do lack that rotation of the shoulder, what can we do for it? For external, I love doing things like McLeod flies, where it's basically the opposite of a face pull. We're going to be laying down on a bench. I'm not going to get it on a bench for this video, but it's going to be take a weight, go into external rotation, bring it back. External rotation, loaded stretch, bring it back, get that shit stronger at end range. On the flip side, for internal, we can pin the shoulder blade on something, let the weight dip us down, pull back up, loaded stretch, pull back up, loaded stretch, pull back up. So not only are we gaining flexibility with that, we're getting that stuff stronger. But that's just handling rotation, that's just handling range. That's not handling actual function of the cuff, actual function of the coracobrachialis. So what are we gonna do about that? Well, if we wanna get this shit better at sucking the shoulder blade in, or sucking the shoulder socket, or the shoulder humeral head into the shoulder socket on the shoulder blade, easy thing that we can do that'll really expose the coracobrachialis to A, build tolerance, B, get all that shit working together, is just to grab onto something, underhand grip, and then lean away, and you should feel a pretty good pull through the coracobrachialis. You might want to have to torque the torso around a little bit, and then we can kind of just let the arm go and pull ourselves back, and you're actually going to feel that sucker start to work, and it is going to feel pretty damn good. And this is a good way to kind of get some easy first string volume into that sucker to get it better at doing its job. Now, if we want to up the challenge on this movement, what we can do is, instead of grabbing onto something, we can choke a band, grab onto a band, and then we can start doing shoulder circles out here like this. Step 3, to actually really begin to build the tolerance, is we can start to do dislocations with the PVC pipe just to make sure that we're establishing range. And then we can slide a plate over the PVC pipe, start to load our dislocations so that we can, again, start to challenge everything in our ability to control the shoulder, suck the humeral head deeper into the socket. Step 4, to kind of put everything together, more applicable to the squat bar, more applicable to actually shoulder action, is warming up for squats, bar on your back, start doing behind the neck presses with it, and slowly try to progress those, both in range, both in grip width, and in load. Now, behind the neck presses, you don't have to be super, super duper strong at them to be able to squat. Like, for most people, I can get them to feel a hell of a lot better if they're just able to behind the neck press the empty bar pretty well. But if you want to, they're fun to train, they're fun to work up on, and if you progress them at a rate appropriate to your shoulders, you can get pretty strong at them and not be too worried about jacking things up. So That's what I do about coracobrachialis. Thank you for watching. Let me know if that helped. Drop a comment, share with your friends. Peace out. Don't be afraid of training.